All right, hey VC, I'm Jamie. Welcome back, and we're back with another unboxing for you on this one, and it is Tull time. It is Jethro Tull and Stormwatch, and this is the 4 CD, 2 DVD box set, and this is in keeping with the style of their other reissues or re-releases of the classic Jethro Tull albums. And this Stormwatch was the 12th studio album from the band Jethro Tull, and it was considered the last in their sort of trilogy of kind of folk rock albums. The other ones including Songs from the Woods and also the album Heavy Horses. That sort of folk rock kind of period with Jethro Tull. And they did release live and compilation or greatest hits in between those albums, but this is considered sort of the last of that sort of trilogy. Despite the cover, you're not thinking necessarily kind of a folk rock kind of thing necessarily going on, but this is a wonderful album. It's an album I didn't get into initially, but have since certainly appreciated. 40th anniversary box set. And this is also considered the last album featuring the classic 1970s lineup of Jethro Tull, as many of the band members would leave after this one and go on to other things. So this is the 4 CD, 2 DVD set, 96-page book, extensive coverage of the band's touring and recording at the end of the 70s by Martin Webb, with contributions from Ian Anderson, Martin Barr, Dee Palmer, and Dave Pegg. And they're calling this the 40th anniversary Force 10 edition. And the original 1979 album remixed to stereo and 5.1 by Steven Wilson, plus unreleased tracks, early versions, and a 1980 concert performance. So, yeah, so here's the back. And I'll take the shrink off so we can get at least a better look at it, so we can certainly enjoy. And they certainly, with regards to the booklets, have really outdone themselves with regards to this series. Not always a fan about the way they package the CDs and DVDs in these, but in terms of the very extensive booklets, I do quite enjoy it. And it's a nice kind of nice book or booklet form or whatever you want to call this. So there's the front there, and here's the back, and hopefully we'll be able to get close enough in there for you. It's kind of hard to read some of it with the writing here. But hopefully that can tell you everything that's on there. Okay, so let's take a look inside and see what we have. So it's going to open up like this, and then of course the CDs are housed like this, which is not my favorite thing. Some people don't have any issues with this, but and this one doesn't seem to have any like sort of things to kind of flip it out or anything like that. So here we have CD1 and CD2. I'm not gonna, or maybe I should take it out just so you can see the picture in the back here. So they pop out like that. I'm not a huge fan of that configuration. And I'm just thinking, like, why couldn't they just make it just a little bit, you know, just extend it just a little bit so each CD could just fit in like that? I don't see why that's quite so hard, but that's quite the nice picture there. And then the, so we have CD3 and CD4 there in the back here, and I'll remove those so you can see the picture in the back here. At least a little something different on each disc, which is quite nice. And certainly lots of live stuff, which is really cool. These are very, very nice pictures here. And then they have the DVD here. So there's disc 2. And they put those in the nice little sleeves here, which I don't quite know why they just don't do that with the rest of the series. So that's in the back, and then sort of CD1s in the front here. And whoops. And there you go. Okay, so let's take a look inside and see what we've got here. As I said, these are extensive booklets. These are, I would say, in terms of many of the booklets that I'm getting with some of these CDs box sets, these are perhaps the most exhaustive. Really excellent write-ups, but then they'll have like related articles, depending on the subject matter, that sort of thing. Full essays, of course, by Ian Anderson, and certainly often by Martin Barr, but absolutely extensive and almost exhaustive. But that's kind of what we want, you know. If we're getting a box set or something along these lines, you know, we want some context, want some historical context. Okay, and I do like the artwork for this particular album cover. I think that's a really striking cover art for this one. And certainly looking at it, I wouldn't think it necessarily kind of folky rock necessarily from that album. I thought maybe they'd be going a bit more of the rock edge, but not completely. Dun Ringell is one of the bigger songs. Not a lot of huge, big Jethro Tull songs from this album necessarily, but Dun Ringell. It's got that really kind of folky kind of thing going on, which I enjoy. I like most of the phases, pretty much all the phases of Jethro Tull. I like the folk stuff. I like the hard stuff, but just great musicianship. It's a shame that Martin Barr is not with the group, and in fact, Ian Anderson continuing to tour, but he kind of calls it Jethro Tull's Ian Anderson. It's almost a little, I don't want to say deceiving, but it's a little like you're saying, oh, it's Jethro Tull the band, but I guess he's semi-retired the name, if you will. Although even then, it's kind of blurred lines, shall we say? And of course, all the lyrics included very nicely. As you say, with these with these box sets, no stone is left unturned. It's everything included, which is awesome. You know, full rundown of the concert listings, everything. And I really do love this 70s lineup of the band. I think this was a really good band. That if ever Jethro Tull was going to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and not again this year with the nominees just out, but certainly a large part of this group would be nice to be inducted into it. Not to say some of the original members shouldn't be in there, but I would say the large part it would be this group, I would think. If and when that ever happens. Okay, I think we're just almost through, and okay, and as I mentioned, the DVDs in both the front and the back, and there you have it. So, going to be enjoying Jethro Tull, Stormwatch. Okay, and we'll quickly take a look at some of the others in the series. Again, all the same sort of style configuration in no particular order in terms of their release. We've got Jethro Tull, This Was. And then we've got Jethro Tull, Heavy Horses. And then we have Jethro Tull, Minstrel in the Gallery. Certainly a favorite. Jethro Tull, Aqualung. Jethro Tull, War Child. And then continuing on, Jethro Tull, Stand Up. So many great albums. Great albums. Jethro Tull, Passion Play. And then we have Jethro Tull, Songs from the Wood. And then we have Jethro Tull, Too Old to Rock and Roll, Too Young to Die. And that's what they've released so far in the series. They have also released Thick as a Brick. I didn't pick that one up. I was a little disappointed with that one. They didn't really, for whatever reason, on Thick as a Brick with this style configuration, they didn't really offer anything particularly new on that set. So I didn't, for whatever reason, pick that up. But I did pick up just recently something which I didn't even know they had released on vinyl, Thick as a Brick combined with Thick as a Brick 2. Now, Thick as a Brick with the original Jethro Tull and Thick as a Brick with Jethro Tull's Ian Anderson that you can see there. But this is like a very nicely packaged double vinyl set. And I'm not sure exactly when this came out in 2012. As I say, I didn't even know it existed and came across it and said, yes, please. So I was very happy with this. So you have now this doesn't have the album in its sort of newspaper configuration. And then we have Jethro Tull, which I did have on CD, but this is Thick as a Brick 2 on vinyl. And I love how it's, the newspaper and then it's the website sort of thing. And then a really nice booklet included with regards to this. So I think we've got some time to maybe take a look at this. This is a nice A full LP size booklet, which of course in the book they give you all the newspaper stuff, so they didn't include it on the vinyl. So that's how they include all of the newspaper stuff. I do have the Thick as a Brick on vinyl as well with the authentic newspaper, but nice to have it in this set. And as I recall, this one is mainly, not mainly necessarily a lot of text, but mainly a lot of pictures. But enough of the write-ups inside for sure. Okay. But yeah, I was really thrilled to come across this. As I said, I didn't even know that they released this. Nice combination. And a nice booklet overall. Although it is a little harder to hold up these full-size booklets. These full LP-size booklets. Or I guess I should say book, since it's certainly later Jethro Tull, Ian Anderson, or whatever you want to call him. And Thick as a Brick 2 isn't bad. It's not, it doesn't quite live up to the original, but it's not bad overall. Okay, I think it's just about done here. Oops. Sorry about that. And lots of lyrics included. And various write-ups. And I think we're just about done. Oops. Not too much. Credits and credits. And there you go. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for this one. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll chat again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.